Dude, we're recording.
What? We're live?
Yeah, we're live.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Damn, totally forgot. Hey, Mitzir Snobs, what's going on? I'm Chris. Today we have 14 LPVOs, as you see on this table. What we're doing today is we're doing our little unboxing, first impressions, whatever you want to call it. We're just going to talk about what we think about first, initial impressions about these optics. And we're going to go through a couple things. So first things first, just letting you guys know, we all have a little bit of paper in front of us. Why? Well, there's a lot of data on these things, a lot of information that we need to get to you, right, about what we think. And so we have the manufacturer, model, MSRP. What are we using for MSRP, Paul? What's the online store?
Oh, for the online price, we're using Euro
Optics. All right, so we have a nice way we're going to be telling you the prices on this. We're going to talk about the focal planes. We're going to be talking about the reticles, weights, and all these different things. Okay, we're going to keep this flowing. I'm going to be moderating this conversation, asking some questions to these guys, and then when we're done with this, we're just going to go out and shoot them and get some more data on these, right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, I'm Chris. This is
Paul,
and I'm Dan, better known as William Defoe.
All right, cool. Do we have to thank anyone?
Yeah. I want to thank Mike at Crate Holdings LLC. Sent us a whole bunch of ammo. Made it a lot easier on all of us.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll thank the guys as we go with the scopes. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we're going to be mentioning whoever gave us these optics. Some of these optics came from Paul. Other optics came from our members, so big thank you to them. And we're going to be mentioning your names. Make sure you get the credit for sending us these expensive optics. Some more expensive than others, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, so without further ado, our initial impressions. We're going to start from down there, okay? Dan.
Yep.
Right in front of you, you have the EOTech. That's sent to us by Amir. Amir, thank you very much. That's going to be the Vudu 1x8x24. The price we're getting on your optics coming in at about $12.99. Call it $1,300. Dan, initial impressions. What do you think?
So yeah, this has a really nice reticle. I think we're going to be able to acquire a target very quickly.
Okay.
With this particular reticle, and really looking forward to shooting it. Glass clarity is fantastic.
Good.
All right, it is the HC3 reticle. The turret's audible, tactile, capped. The illumination control, push buttons. We've talked about this here to last couple of days looking at this stuff, and the buttons are nice if you're wearing gloves or your hands are dirty or slick or whatever. So the mag ring is loose. Not too hard to turn, and it's got a throw lever included.
Yeah. So, one thing I like, the word quirky, right?
Yep.
Every optic manufacturer should have, a quirky feature. Like, something that you look at, you touch, and you could say, hey, I appreciate that they had this, right? Like a locking turret or a button. We'll see which one of those have this. For me, I like the button that turns on the illumination, right?
Yes.
I think that's pretty cool. I think that's really easy. I think you don't even have to look at it. You just feel it and then do it, right? We have two EOTech optics here. One's first focal plane. Which one is this one? I think that's
is
a
Second, yeah.
Yeah.
And you could see it right through the optic, right? Once you
Absolutely.
look at the glass.
Yep.
So I think that's kind of what you mean by it's quick. I think you alluded towards that.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the reticle helps with that as well.
All right, very cool. So that's a cap turret, I believe.
Yeah.
Cap turrets. All right, very cool. Anything else we want to mention about that? Field of view or anything?
Field of view comes at 105, which
Okay.
is kind of middle of the... actually, kind of towards the bottom, actually, of all these. Not terrible, not great.
Now, the weights. I think maybe they're a little chunky on the weights. What do you guys think? Are they heavy? I don't know what kind of mounts we're using, but...
That one's about average at 21.1, so, which is... It's average.
Yeah, it's an average. I don't like heavy optics, but I guess we're going to see how they perform, right? And now that we launched the first optic that we talked about, I think our main goal here is to see if we are, let's say we pay $2,500 for an optic or $1,500. Are we getting our money's worth? We want to know if we're spending that kind of money, is it worth it, right? And you're going to see the price differences between these optics. Like, what are we getting for the money, right? So we have to perform in two different sections here. All right, so the two things that we're looking for is it performing like a red dot when we need it to at a close quarters environment? And two, are we picking up that magnification when we need to range out and hit a target beyond the red dot's capabilities, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that those are like the two main principles. Right now, you have in your hand the 110, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
That was given us to by Rich over at C&M Tactical. Rich gave us 2 optics. So a big thank you to Rich. Thank you very much for that. So what do we get with the 110? First, obviously, there's going to be a price difference, right? You're getting more glass. You're getting more magnification. The price is going to change, right? Puts us around $1,700. A little bit of an increase. Would you guys say it's worth it? I don't know.
I think that what's nice is that the increase isn't quite as marginal as some of the others
Sure,
on the table
yeah.
here. You know, for the upgraded magnification, I think that's kind of nice. One of the things that I want to note about the EOTechs, you have the ability to change the magnification, grasping the entire basically hood here,
Yeah.
right, and changing the magnification. So that's really slick. I think that's something that's really cool about the EOTech.
Yep.
This one is first focal plane. The glass is really nice in it. I was kind of excited just playing with this here after it showed up. On 1X, it's got the big EOTech ring,
Yep.
like you're used to seeing in Dan's favorite optic.
And that's very cool. I like that. That's the SR5 reticle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the illumination is the same. It's got the push buttons. The turrets are a little different though.
Yeah.
The elevation is capped and locking and exposed. The windage is capped. If I had a preference on how an LPVO should be, I'd say that's it for the turrets.
Sure. Yeah.
Again, mag ring's not hard to turn, and it comes with an included throw lever.
Yeah. The only thing that I may see when we're shooting this is that large ring at magnification. I feel like it's going to cloud my target a little bit, especially when I'm trying to measure and stuff like that.
It completely disappears though.
It does it? Okay.
Yeah, once you get at 10x, you have a completely different.
All right, but maybe now when I'm trying to acquire that target a little bit quicker, do you think that's going to cloud our view?
It is
right?
big, right? It's
like when I'm trying to get PID on a target, like I feel like it's going to
I
obstruct
don't
my.
know. I mean, we'll have to see
It'll
it.
be interesting to see.
It's much larger than
Yeah,
what you
definitely.
see in the
Sure.
the holographic sights from them. So we'll have to see.
Again, from 1.8 to the 110, we're getting only a couple $100 difference in price.
Yep.
You're getting different reticles.
Yeah.
And the weight is kind of the same.
Yeah, the 1.8 being a little lighter.
Yeah.
Believe
Yeah.
it or not. Or, I'm
The
sorry, the
110
1.8
being
being a
lighter,
little heavier. Yeah, yeah.
Which is weird. I mean, 34 diameter tube versus the 30.
Yeah.
34 versus 30. So that's going to be interesting. Again, all these variables, they're going to matter, especially when we're shooting under pressure. So,
Absolutely.
all right. So let's move on. The next optic was provided to us by Paul. Thank you, Paul.
Well, you're welcome.
How do we say this? Is it a Kahles?
They say it's
Kahles?
Kahles. I say it Kahles because I'm from Missouri, but they say it's Kahles.
All right, so this we're gonna call this it's a 1x6x24. The online price that we're seeing again on your optics coming in about $20.50. And yeah, what do you got? What do you want to tell us, Dan?
I mean, just it's got some of the best glass that just in taking a look at some of these, I think this has the best glass on the table.
Yeah.
The FOV is 126.
Sure. And that's pretty damn high in
our
accordance to
second
what we have
widest,
on this
Yeah,
table.
it's our second widest.
Behind
Next to
the other
only its
Kahles,
bigger brother. Yeah.
So we're saying that the field of view on the Kahles optics are the biggest on the table.
They're superior. Yes.
Superior.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
And I think from all of us looking at it, which you just mentioned, that I think we all are agreeing that they have the clearest glass.
The clearest glass, I think it's going to be fast. You have a huge field of view,
Yep.
which allows you to transition when you're moving from target to target. If you're looking at something for 3-gun or for quick target acquisition downrange, I think this is going to be it. The throw is really nice and smooth. This is a European optic, so it is reversed to the domestic-made optics.
Yeah, German
but
engineering.
It's very smooth. It's a nice size overall. I understand why this has a fan base. One thing that I really love, a little quirk, the extra cap that holds the battery. I think that's really nice.
That is
feature.
pretty cool. Yeah.
So, like Chris said, this is mine. I got a lot of time behind this scope. I really enjoy it. The illumination on these things is pretty neat because instead of notches, it's got a rheostat,
Yep.
so you can really fine tune it. Turrets, audible, tactile. I don't have much else to say about it because, like I said, it is mine.
Yeah.
It's light.
Yeah, and that's what I love about
it's-
that.
It's 17.9 on my scale. The advertised weight's a little less than that, but I know my scale's right, so that is what it is.
Yeah. And one thing I want to mention, especially in my domain, I do a lot of night vision work. I do see when guys are running optics, LPVOs, I tend to see more Kahles optics on night vision setups than regular. I think one of the reasons why is because they're really light. I think they have a really big field of view, so when you're trying to get behind it with a monocular or whatever you're using, I think it's more, I guess, I don't know what the right word is, but it favors it more, the night vision.
Sure. Well, like a lot of these scopes, the ring really, when you're out, the ring really disappears.
Yeah.
And with night vision, the smaller it looks, the easier it is to use. I haven't shot much.
I mean, look, when you're running lasers and IR devices and flashlights or whatever you want to run on your gun at night, that the last thing you want to worry about is having a chonky optic on your gun. And again, that's why I see that a lot in my domain. All right, so are we good on that? The 1.6. Can we move on to the 1.8?
Yeah.
All right. So moving on from that, again, the price point I want to mention $20.49. Moving on to the 1.8. That's provided to us by Andy C. Andy C. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Sending it to us for a review. Price is coming in at $500 more, which puts it at $25.50. Yep. Interesting. We're getting more glass, and we're getting a different reticle.
Yeah, different reticle, both second focal plane. You gain one more foot in your FOV with this particular optic.
Yep.
A great reticle in this as well. I like them both. The glass it's stunning glass. I understand why these have a fan base online.
Absolutely.
The throw lever included here is massive.
Yeah.
There's no reason that you cannot adjust this. I mean, you could lever this on the table and adjust it if you needed to, or any object that's around you. So, really nice optic, really nice reticle, really nice glass. I think it's going to be fast.
Impressive.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same as with the turrets and the illumination. The illumination's on a rheostat. Turrets are good. They're audible, tactile. Same battery cap that Dan mentioned, holds the extra 2032. And I don't know if Danny showed you this, but that throw lever, he mentioned it, right? I mean, that thing's massive. Beats all these other guys out. Definitely made for competition, for 3-gun stuff.
And it's funny you mentioned the 3-gun. I think there was a lot of stuff put into play here when they were designing this optic.
Yeah.
For me being that it's a second focal plane. In a sport, when you're sport shooting 3-gun, are you ranging? Are you measuring targets at 4 or 500 meters or yards, whatever you're using? I'm gonna say probably not. So they I guess they try to make it more as user friendly as possible.
Yeah.
Less thinking involved.
Yeah.
So big ring, right? It's got a big field of view, and
8 mag.
It's a second focal plane.
Yeah, and it's pretty light too at 19.5 ounces. So I was excited to see this one too, having the 16 to see what the differences are.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to tell you that whenever we shoot them a little bit.
But coming in at a hefty price, $25.50. That's a lot of money. It's a big endeavor. All right, so let's move on. Another optic provided to us by Paul. Paul, just stop flexing on us already.
Well, I mean, I got to think for these things, right?
All right, Paul. Let's move on to this. Dan, you got it in your hands.
Yeah.
We have a Leupold. Paul, you mentioned this was a newer optic by Leupold.
Yeah, this year I believe.
All right, it came out this year. Patrol 6 HD, the 1x6x24, coming in at your optics around $1,400. What can you tell us about this?
I'll tell you what, for $1,400, I really like this. It's got a nice footprint. It's not too big.
Yeah.
The throw, although it doesn't have a large lever on it, it's super smooth.
Yeah.
Easy to change. The reticle is fantastic. The dot is super bright. It's a push button, easy to adjust.
Quirky feature we mentioned earlier, right?
Yeah, I really like this. I don't know. This one might surprise me. I'm looking forward to it.
To touch on reticle, it's the Fire Dot Duplex.
Yeah.
It's got shake awake. Turrets are audible, tactile. The caps feel a little cheap, but I mean, it is what it is. I spent some time behind this, so I don't want to get too into it. But the did you touch on the glass on this?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the glass in this. It's not the best. It's not the worst.
We're gonna call
it's
that
bright,
a
it's crisp.
mid-tier glass. That's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah, well,
It's a true mid-tier
it
glass.
should be a mid-tier scope, right?
Well,
I
the thing
mean,
is, you know, with me, I love that fire dot duplex. I think that's one of my favorite features about Leupold is that introduction of that. Field of view is coming in pretty high as well.
yeah,
120,
very good. Yeah.
120 on a 30 millimeter optic. Again, just looking at Leupold's initial review or introduction of this optic, they did mention that this was a sport competition style optic, which
Yep.
shows us, I mean, it is a second focal plane.
Yeah.
So they want you to get on target quick. They don't want you to lose that as you zoom in on a target, right? Fading away of the reticle. So it has its place.
The other thing that's nice about this is the lightest one on the table too at 14.5.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
that's right. Paul, you measured these all on your scale.
Yeah, I weighed them all separate of the mount except the Schmidt because I didn't want to take it apart.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
yeah.
guys. We're getting there.
You know,
we got a
so-
lot to say about that optic, and so does somebody else. All right, so we're good on the Leupold, all right? Let's move on. We have probably one of the nicest optics that I've seen in a while. Christian sent us over the ATACR. Chunky Boy ATACR. That's going to be a 1x8. Big
It's
optic
got
right
girth.
there. It's got girth. It's the thickest one on the table. All right, so moving on. Again, we have that Nightforce 1x8 coming in at a whopping $2,800. That's a big price to pay for an optic.
Yeah.
So, again, we got to see if this is worth it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The reticle, fantastic. I think this is going to be a fast shooter. There's not a lot of obstruction. You're going to be able to transition smoothly with this. I know Paul's really talking about the turrets, but I just have to note they're huge. I mean, you can adjust these easily. The throw is really unique. You can either use the entire hood, or you can unlock the hood and then just use the ring, because there is a throw lever included.
Sure.
That just wasn't mounted. So this thing, you could literally knock somebody out with this. I mean, this is a police baton.
Bludgeon someone to death.
Yeah, this is a police baton and an optic at the same time.
I want to mention before we move on that this optic, the 1x8, particularly won a contract with the military in 2020.
Yeah.
And again, this was made to support the sniper weapon systems for the military. So, yeah, I think we see SF running these. So, what do you think, Paul?
Well, I was really looking forward to this one. I've never shot through an ATACR before. Christian sent me this thing brand new from Nightforce.
Wait, brand new? What do you
brand
mean
new?
brand new?
Like I opened the box.
Wait,
Right,
you
like
broke the plastic
it was
on the
sealed.
box.
Yeah, it was sealed. It showed up at my doorstep, straight from them.
Holy moly. Christian.
Yeah.
God damn,
So
Christian.
he hasn't even looked at this thing yet. I sent him some pictures. I was like, "Yo, here's what your scope looks like. Check it out."
Well, Christian, you're getting back.
You know.
You will be getting back a used optic.
Oh, really?
Hope you're-
Especially
hope you're okay
by the
with
time
that.
we're done with the torture testing and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, we have a whole pile of rocks, right? I think we're gonna put it through.
Yeah,
Very cool.
bury it and
Drive it over.
submerge it.
Drive
Sorry,
it over.
Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I was gonna run a helicopter so we could do some drop testing and
Yeah.
shit like that. But anyway, it's got the FCDMX reticle, 34 millimeter tube, narrowest field of view out of the bunch.
Yeah,
right?
which
Am
is
I
a
correct
little-
on that? Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming in
Kind
at
of
about
surprising.
96, right?
Yeah. Kind of surprising, honestly. But turrets are audible, tactile, feel really good. Like Dan said, they're girthy.
They do look like the biggest turrets on this table.
They're close. Yeah.
The primary's right there.
The primary
it?
and the
The
Credo
Credo.
are close,
And
but
the
yeah,
Razors.
and these are capped. This has, it doesn't say NV, but what I believe is an NV setting, maybe two. I'm really excited to use this. I'm excited to use them all,
Yeah.
but I've been trying to find an excuse to buy one of these, and
Sure. I mean,
maybe
you may
after this
just
is
have
all
found
said
it.
and done, right?
You
Right.
may just have found it.
So just,
I mean, this is definitely going to influence us to
Yeah.
at least get one of these, right, when we're done.
Well, we'll see. I'm not an LPVO
Well,
fan. I love my dots, but
But
We're
let me
gonna
ask you,
find out,
if you could pick one up and have best of both worlds, right? Then
yeah, I'm hoping that this experience changes my mind. Yeah.
yeah,
all right,
your
let's
pocketbook's
move on
not,
from the
though.
ATACR. Are we
What's
good
up?
on
I
that,
said your
guys?
pocketbook's not hoping though.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Well, Dan, don't be poor.
that's
right?
right. Yeah,
Well,
no, yeah. If you
All right,
gotta
let's
do
move
it, you
on,
gotta
boys.
do it.
The next one we have, a little controversial. We're gonna,
Yeah.
This is the NX8, the 1x8x24. Controversial, Dan, why? But before you tell us, this is coming in at a lot less, about $1,000 less, coming in at about $1,750, so a lot more affordable. So what are the key differences between the ATACR and the NX8? And what are we not getting? What are we not getting for the money, right? So
I'll say one thing that you are getting that's an advantage is the size, the footprint.
Yeah.
It's much smaller.
Sure.
All right, you guys can see that here. It's much smaller. What I think you're really losing is clarity of the glass. The eye box is really tight. I do like that it has the same reticle. I think that does open up the field of view downrange. It actually is slightly bigger than the ATACR, but it doesn't feel that way when you're looking through it. Just looking ahead of me here, it feels tight, and there's just a lot of a lack of clarity on the edges. So I'm just concerned about this one. I don't know how it's going to perform, but the throw's smooth.
I will say though, like one thing that I noticed, Paul, maybe you can speak on it, but the tube diameter is smaller, but you're getting a bigger field of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just got to be in the glass, right? It's the only thing that makes any sense, really. Another thing to kind of touch on what you were talking about, if you look online, people either love this scope or they hate this scope.
Yeah,
and there's not much in between. So again, Nightforce, tactile, audible clicks, barely audible, I guess, but you can sure feel them.
Sure.
No NV settings. Same notches and stuff with the illumination.
Okay.
Like Danny said, it's I think it's our smallest footprint wise, our smallest scope.
I think that primary arms coming up is cutting close.
It's close.
It's definitely thinner. It's definitely thinner.
It's shorter.
Shorter.
But again, the main key thing with this optic, and I think we all agree on, just like Paul said, it's a love or hate relationship.
Yeah. 17.1 ounces.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a nice weight. It's a nice weight.
One of the lighter scopes.
Sure. So, okay, we're going to move on from that. Nightforce, we got the ATACR and the NX8, those are out. Main differences are, again, the size, the weight. Right? Price-wise. All right, let's move on to the elephant in the room, which has been mentioned by more than one person. The compact PLx 1x8x24, coming in at around $1,500. Say this is my favorite optic. Why? I guess we'll see. I'm going to mention a lot more about this in future videos. But Dan, what can you tell us about that at first glance?
Well, I'll tell you what. For the price on this, this glass is fantastic. Inside, it seems to be as good as a Kahles, but we're inside, so we're gonna see how it looks on the range. I love the reticle on this one. It's super smooth. I think it's gonna be fast. It comes in at a decent weight, 16.95.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
Our second lightest, yeah.
I mean, it is a compact, optic.
It's a compact, nice turret size. I like the bigger turrets. I feel like I got bigger hands. I don't know, but it's nice. I really like it for what it is. It feels nice. Yeah. It feels well built. So.
And one thing I want to add is that ACSS reticle that's in there, we all know it's a cheat code. Yeah. I love using it. I don't have to dial in. All I know is I got to, I don't know what you guys set your zeros at, but I'm a 50-200 guy. Yeah. I set it at 50, but, I can make my adjustments if I want to, but I don't have to. I have those drop reticle, those drop dots that I can use that put me out where I need to be. And I have no dialing to do. It's pretty amazing.
Right. So the turrets on this thing, they come capped. Primary actually includes an exposed turret that you can put on for the elevation. I did change that out, as this is mine as well. Danny really likes the reticle. I've been shooting it for a minute, and my personal jury's still out. But that's just me, and a lot of this you'll see comes to preference.
Sure.
Like Dan said, though, the glass is. You wouldn't think it says primary arms on it. I'll just leave it at that. The field of view is 121, which is one of 4 scopes that's in the 120s. So
above average.
They got a lot of things right. The mag ring is smooth.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first American-made primary arms.
I believe it is. I don't believe so. I know that the LCLX and the GLXs are
proudly designed.
I know for sure the SLX.
Made in Japan.
Yeah, so it's not Chinese.
Well, the glass is definitely Japanese.
Yeah.
That glass is too clear to come from
Absolutely.
I have the SLX at home, the 1.8. Again, works great, but it is a Chinese optic.
Yeah, and that thing's heavy.
It's heavy,
Yeah.
but it works.
Yeah.
Primer Arms does great things. I think they got a good future with these optics, and
Yeah.
I think that right there is a game changer for
That's
Primer Arms.
a move in the right direction.
Move on to the most expensive optic in the room, Paul.
Yeah, I want to correct something here. The NX8, well, not correct, but we forgot to mention that Paul sent us this.
Paul, thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, that's
Not this Paul, the other
right.
Paul.
The other Paul from the group. So
Cool, Paul.
we appreciate it. I didn't mean to forget you there. We just got a lot of stuff going on here. So
All right, so next up, I'm going to take a tactical pause here.
Yeah.
Jesse, thank you very much for sending us over
the Schmidt.
the Schmidt and
Schmidt.
Bender.
There
The
you go.
Schmidt and Bender. So, yeah, this is a whopping $5,800.
Yeah.
Jesse, are you crazy for sending this to us? Anyway,
Came in a nice case.
it came in a nice case. It
Yeah.
did. It's really
Came
nice.
with a registered security agent to hold on yours.
The security dropped it off. Anyway, all right. So Schmidt and Bender, the short dot dual CC 1x8x24. Again, coming at 5780. That price is going to vary, but again, it is the most expensive optic on the table. We all want to know one thing: is it going to shoot its worth? We would like to know that. Is it worth
Looking forward to finding out.
$5,800? One thing that I noticed right off the bat when we got this optic, that it's got two focal planes.
Yeah.
You want to mention what those are?
Yeah, very cool technology. It's got a second and first focal plane built into it. So it's very, very cool. It's very unique. You know, European optics, they're innovative, right?
Yeah.
It seems to be a trend.
Yeah.
So
A little weird feature on that too. I think you mentioned earlier, Dan, that something was weird about the way it turns.
yeah, so just like the Kahles, this turns to the left, right? It's the opposite of the domestic made. It is a long throw. That's one thing that I've noticed in handling it, but it's smooth.
Yeah.
It's super smooth. You know, I mean, this is a Mercedes-Benz of
Sure it is,
of
yeah.
low-powered variable optics.
Yeah.
The Knight's armament mount complements it well. And what's the finish on this again? This is the
RAL 8000.
Yeah,
That's right.
RAL 8000. Really cool color.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't match any FDE out there, so
No.
good luck on that.
Yeah,
50
if you want
of
50
FDE.
shades of FDE,
Yeah.
start with this.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so like Danny said, the dot is on second focal plane. The actual reticle is on first.
And it's a true dot, like a red dot. Like
Yeah,
when you're
they
on
call, they
1X.
call it the flash dot.
Sure,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So the turrets are exposed and locking, which I like. Of all the ones here on the bench, these are my favorite turrets. Because the dual focal plane, it's got dual illumination. It's all one color, but one side lights up the dot and the other direction lights up the reticle.
Yeah. Weight on it's a little heavy, I think. I mean, I grabbed it earlier.
What's it at? It's
yeah,
at
22.5.
Yeah, 22.5. Heavy, but I'm not sure cool.
I mean, any quirks about this other than that dual focal? I mean, nothing that I can observe from the outside, right? No. I know what I like about that is the exposed turrets, but they also lock.
Yeah.
They're exposed locking. I
Right.
really like that. I like to know where I'm at because I need to know if I'm going to dial it or not.
Yeah. You know, and they're marked really well too for
Sure.
what that's worth.
Very clear. Yeah.
The glass on this thing sitting inside here is really nice, as you would expect it to be.
Yeah. But again, I mean, the question I think we're all going to ask ourselves is the glass any better than anything on the table?
Yeah, well, I
For
mean-
$5,800, it should be.
Well, and
Well, we
we're
know
not-
Schmidt and Bender's engineering. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I have a lot of time behind Schmidt and Bender optics in the military. I mean, they were on, you know, in SOCOM's hands, you know, during GWAT, and there's a reason for it, you know.
Yeah,
So
but you know what? We're not gonna know until we get out and shoot them, because I mean, it may look great in here, and fail miserably out there. I don't expect that, but that's a possibility, right? As with any of them,
of
you know.
course.
But in here, it looks awful good.
But of course, you know, we're gonna shoot it and get opinion on it. But I want to thank Jesse, you crazy bastard. Thank you again for sending it over. All right, that's over with. Next up, we got the 6-hour Tango6T or T6, however you want to call it.
16.
6T.
All right, really good. Another Army awarded contract to 6-hour. This went to our Army for SOCOM and for our regular conventional infantry forces. These are already in the field. First thing for me, when I look at that optic, it's pretty. That's a nice color they got on there.
Really
Whatever
is.
they did, I don't know if it's
Sano.
anodized. Yeah, it's beautiful, especially on that OD green.
ADM.
ADM mount. Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Dan, first initial impressions.
Super clear glass, honestly. I mean, Sig, I know that they have a poor reputation with some of their products, but this is definitely not a product that I would turn a shoulder to.
I'll tell you what, you can't say someone's poor when they post an optic on their gun with that.
No.
The price point, if you're flexing on someone, they're going to get plus $1,700.
But you know, like the NX8, that gets a lot of hate. This scope does. I noticed that.
Seems to.
Why though? Is it the name?
Yeah, I don't
Is it
know.
the name? Is it because they sell
Probably.
$99 red dots?
Maybe, you know, they
AR-15
sell
Nation,
red
vibes.
dots that are made in, you know, with Hollow Sun.
We got
we'll see.
AR-15 Nation vibes going on with 6 hour. Is that why?
Maybe. You never know.
Really, really clear glass. I love the reticle in this. This particular reticle is considered the horseshoe dot, so really nice. Really clear indicators on where your magnification is, and there is built-in fiber to highlight where you're at, which I really, really like that little feature. It's funny, it's green, and then he chose an ADM mount that's green. It just looks beautiful. It's a nice looking scope.
Yeah.
Look forward to shooting it. It's a little chunky, not too terrible, but
it's about average.
yeah, I think it'll move.
Paul, what do you think about this one? I know you've got a lot of time.
Yeah,
on
this is mine, so I'm shot a lot. 2 night vision settings. The illumination actually locks. I don't know if you can see me doing that, but the turret's audible, tactile. The cap's kind of like the Leupold. That they don't really feel cheap, but they kind of look cheap. This is first focal plane. And the color, like these guys were talking about on my stuff, it's real close to Geisley's DDC.
Sure.
Honestly, one of the reasons I bought it.
We both know that Geisley's DDC, you'll have
it
a
comes
rifle
and goes,
with
right?
5 different colors, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're good on that, right? I kind of want to shoot that. I haven't really had too much time behind that Sig yet, but we're gonna move on. The next one we have up is our Trijicon VCOG. Yeah. This is a USMC, United States Marine Corps service rifle, a service optic for your rifle. I did see this in service in the Army as well. I'm not sure if the branches were giving it to each other. So right off the bat, I'll say this is a one-piece optic. It comes with the mount already attached to it. The one thing with this optic, when they were making it, it had to be extremely durable for the most austere conditions in the world. Extreme cold, extreme heat. These were fielded during GWOT. So what does that tell you? Where were we during GWOT? Afghanistan, Iraq, and some other countries in that area. Get really cold, and it gets really, really hot. So again, one of the main things I think that they were looking for when they made this optic was, is it compatible with certain systems? Clip-on thermals, clip-on night vision, augmented reality systems, and lasers, right? Are they compatible with this optic? And the answer is yes, they are, right? So the other thing is when a guy's behind this optic and they drop the rifle or they bang it into something, right? Is it going to be able to hold up during those moments?
Yeah.
So I think Trijicon did really well with that, but there are some things we're not going to like about it. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's long, right? You can tell it's again, this is another one of those optics you feel like you can beat the living crap out of somebody with, but it's construction. It's solid.
Dan, are we gonna have to start testing these LPVOs on ballistic gels to see what kind of damage they're doing?
I like the feel of that solid feel is really nice. It is a little tight, but you do have a good grip when you're changing the magnification. One thing that I really like is the fact that this runs on AA's. So if you're looking for something, that batteries are going to be accessible anywhere, anytime.
Sure.
This is definitely one of those optics.
Yeah.
I like this reticle. This particular reticle is that MRAD segmented.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be quick. I think it's going to work out really, really nice when you're coming up on target.
Sure.
To put that box on steel and shoot pretty quickly. So we'll see. It's not too heavy. At least it doesn't feel in the hand. But
what it feels and what you're seeing on paper are two different things.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
but
true.
that's because
I
the
don't know
mounts
why.
include it, right? Like
That's true.
all these other weights are just the scopes. You
Sure.
can't do that with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So,
that's a really great
you know,
observation.
so you'll have a 22-ounce scope and an 8-ounce mount.
Yeah. And
you
Paul,
know.
before you go, I just want to mention that this price is coming in a little hefty. 1884, 1885.
Yeah.
That's pretty expensive for this. I want to know, why is it so expensive?
Well, it's got good glass.
It does.
It's Trijicon, you'd expect that. The illumination has got a couple night vision settings to allude to what Chris was talking about. The turrets, good feel, good sound. No markings, not a marking one on it. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But they didn't ask me. So
The reticle we're looking at for this is,
first focal plane.
Yep.
You know, Danny mentioned it's the segmented circle.
Yeah, it's the MRAD segmented circle. Yep. So
It's heavy, it's beefy, it feels substantial, right? Like it feels like
a mag light.
feels like the Marines are gonna have a hard time messing it up.
I don't think they are.
You know, do you think it'll break on them?
Chew enough crayons, enough muscles to get that optic. I honestly don't think the weight was a consideration
Right.
when they were making this.
Enough protein powder, you're good.
Exactly. I mean, really, who's using this? I mean, this was fielded probably to the infantry. I mean, do you really think they're lugging around 240s and 249s?
Yep.
You really think they care about weight? No. But us here in the civilian sector, we care about that stuff. We're not. No one's paying us to carry around this weight. We want a light optic.
Right.
Yep.
So that's one of those things that I kind of didn't like about that. But all right, we're gonna move on to another Trijicon. But before I go there, hold on. That VCOG was given us to by Antonio. Antonio, thank you very much.
Thank you, Antonio.
I didn't forget about you, Antonio. Thank you so much. The Trijicon. The next one we have up is the Credo 1x8 by 28. That was given us a second optic. That was by Rich. Rich from C&M Tactical. Thanks again. We really appreciate it.
This optic for the shirt, buddy.
Yep, shirt's right there. Plugging you, C&M. Thank you so much. Price is coming at about $12.10, so this is a little bit on the more budget side. Again, a couple same things.
More
as the other one.
affordable.
More affordable,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't say
call
it's
it budget.
budget.
Right,
No, I wouldn't say it's budget, but definitely more affordable.
Yeah, 1210's this is another hefty boy, you know.
Yeah.
It's probably heavier than the VCOG with the mount and everything. I mean, it's 2575.
Yeah, 2575. Again, you could whack somebody with this thing. It's just it's heavy. The turrets are huge. I like that. One thing I think that's lacking here is, and maybe there's an option aftermarket. You guys can let us know if you know about something. But the throw knob rather than lever is really small. I almost feel like it's obstructing the ability to change your magnification quickly.
Can you take that off, though? Is that something you can take?
It's
like
loose.
it.
So
Okay.
All right, so
I
if you
think
could
that
take it
can
off,
unscrew
I mean, you
it.
could always get an MK machine,
Yeah, you could put an MK lever on it. They
Yeah.
may make something that threads in like
Yeah.
you were
Sure.
saying,
Or
you know.
MTS can make something, too.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, so overall though, glass super clear, like the other Trijicons, same reticle, so
Cool.
it's a little heavy, but I look forward to shooting it.
Awesome.
Alright, so this one's got dual illumination. It does red and green, if that's your thing.
Well, red and green. We
Yeah,
got two
like
colors.
Christmas. Yeah.
Oh,
Like
So-
Strike Industries.
like
Yeah,
Strike.
like
yeah,
Strike, you know. Sorry, we had to, you know. The turrets on this are miles above the VCOG. They're both exposed, they're both locking. They're actually marked, which makes sense.
Very clearly.
Yeah.
Unlike the other one, right?
Yeah, you know, other than that, I don't have much to say about it besides what's been covered here.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to these two, though, because, I mean, you know, Trijicon glass.
Yep.
And I'm a big fan of those MRAD, those reticles.
Yeah.
Easy for me to read. But anyway, let's move on. We have two left, guys. Thanks for sticking with us through this. We got two left. The last two are going to be the Vortexes. So, big shout out to our friend Johnny Regaglia from
Friend and competitor.
Well, is he competitor? I'm not sure. Friend and I'll just call it friend. F-R-E-N. Thank you, friend, for sending us the Razor Gen II 1x6x24, coming in at around $1,400. Another, I'm not going to say budget, but more affordable. You're getting a lot bang for your buck here with this optic. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I think it's more like a bargain than a budget option.
Sure.
Right? A lot of love for these online. I understand why.
Fan favorite?
Yeah, I really love the texture to the illumination. The weight, you know, it feels all right. It's 21.9. You know, it's not terrible.
A little on the heavy side.
Yeah, a little on the heavy
For
side.
me personally.
Wish it had a throw lever. It's a little tight.
They said get your
That's a
own.
lot tight.
Get your own, right?
Vortex said get your own.
Get
throw
your
lever.
own, right? Yeah. But the reticle is super. The glass is clear, rather, not the reticle. The glass is super clear. You have the ability to follow up to your target.
Yeah.
transition side to side.
And I was told that the 1.6 is super fast
yeah, I mean,
when you're trying to punch out. I'd like to see
this is the
what they're talking about.
The JM1 BDC. So the BDC reticles, again, if you're coming up on target, you have that full BDC reticle.
It is a second focal plane, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. So that's going to make it fast, I think.
Well, I mean, I think that also goes with the fact that it's a 1x6. So distance-wise, what are we really looking at? Do you need a first focal plane for a 1.4 or a 1.6? I'm going to say no.
Right.
But again.
Well, and there again, I truly believe the scope's made to be fast, right?
Yeah. One thing, Paul, what does the E stand for on that? Because
well,
I think we have...
Yeah, it's the
an E 1x6.
I don't know exactly what the E stands for, quote unquote, but I know what it is. It's 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 ounces lighter than the older one. And the mag ring, they say this has been improved over the first gen ones or whatever to be lighter or smoother. It's smooth, but it's, as Danny can say, it's super heavy to turn.
Yeah.
The illumination on these, both the razors are the same.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pop it out, so the illumination actually locks, which is kind of cool. Turrets are physically big. They're audible. They're tactile.
Nice size.
Yeah, the glass on this is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
I mean, for that price point, it better be.
Yeah, the Razor line doesn't seem to disappoint most people.
Sure.
No.
So, and we covered the weight, 21. Yeah, I think you said that, 21.9.
Yeah, 21.9.
So,
all right, so the next one coming up, again, I just want to mention this. That optic, the 1.6, was coming at about $1,400. For $1,100 more, all right, puts us at $2,500 on your optics. You're getting more glass, a 110.
yeah.
Yeah, so more glass, but
you get a throw lever. Hold on.
You
do.
It comes
You do.
with the throw lever.
You do.
So
you do.
for
Now
the
they care.
$1,100. Nice throw lever here. So
Yeah, that's an
this is what you're
$1,100
getting,
throw
guys.
lever.
But no, you are getting the 1 to 10 in this. Really nice optic. Super smooth with the throw lever.
Night and day, isn't
sure.
it?
Yeah, it's night and day. This particular one has the EBR9 MRAD. So I like this. Again, for me, when you're pressing out and you're transitioning, you have a lot more field of view.
Yeah.
It's almost at 120. It's at 116. So you're going to have visibility downrange as you're looking for your
It's got a
next
bigger
target.
tube diameter as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
34.
So looking forward to shooting it.
Yeah, so same illumination deal. It locks, which is cool.
Yeah. Quirky.
Same turrets, quirky. Is that the word of the day?
It is. Quirks and features,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Quirks and features.
So the turrets are good. They're audible. They're tactile. This is first focal plane. This is my scope. I've spent a lot of time behind it. One of the things that this is going to be really good for is to give us a comparison on brightness, because this is nuclear bright in the day. We'll see how the other ones stacked up.
Can I mention something? Was there not mention, but ask, even though it's more glass, it's a bigger optic, we have a bigger tube, is there a difference in the weight?
It's negligible.
No.
I think a tenth,
same.
5/10 of an ounce?
But I will say, like, even the Kahles or other optics, we're seeing,
Oh, it's heavy compared to the Kahles.
Sure, no,
Yeah.
sure. What I'm saying is, though, that they were able to keep the weight the same
Correct.
versus some other optics. You saw a difference in the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of matters. I don't know what kind of voodoo.
Yeah, it makes you
they're
wonder if they
doing
went
on that.
overboard on the 1.6 or they cut corners on this kind of.
Not sure.
Field of view on both these Vortex optics are pretty good. The 6 is 115, the 10 is 116.
Yeah, about the same almost.
Yeah, so
Pretty good though.
And I believe that's that.
But
right?
again, that is an expensive optic. I mean,
It
for
is.
me to shell out $2,500 plus tax plus, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully they ship for free, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of money.
Ton of money.
I mean, could I settle with a 1.6 and still get the same performance? Do I need a 110?
And that's one of the other things we can answer too, at least in our opinions, is the juice worth the squeeze for the money?
Yeah.
If it's say for the ATACR versus the Razor, stuff like that. So
I want to ask this question now, but not answer it. Are all of these optics good optics?
you really don't want an answer right now?
No, I think we have to shoot them first. I think I want to, and I'm going to give a brutally honest opinion on what I shoot. So, but again, Any final thoughts on these, you guys, before we close this video out?
We
got to get busy. We got a lot.
Yeah.
We got a lot going on this weekend.
Yeah.
All right. So, real quick, just want to thank you guys again.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's all good. What do you
All
want to say? You flexing on me, dude?
Yeah.
I know you brought 4
Not
optics.
arms though. You know. Before we go, the guys that help us run the group: Michael, Ken, Coy, Big D, Dave.
Big D.
Thank you guys. You know, we know sometimes it's not easy. We got a good relationship though.
Yeah.
I think. You know?
Mike the Fed, the new one.
Yeah.
He's not really a Fed.
I think he maybe is.
He might be.
You know.
I don't know. He acts a little weird.
You know. So and then we got Danny here helps us, and then of course I want to thank John and Sam both.
John Bergerud, big thank you to you.
And Sam Port.
You were with us almost from the beginning.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
And Sam.
Hope to see you back one day.
Time.
Door's always open, John Bergerud. Sam, oi, mate.
Bottle of water.
Your bottle of water.
Water.
Only British guy I know with 0 accent.
Well, I called out a British guy today. What happened?
He posted.
Yeah, he told him to post a knife. He's like, no. I'm like,
No
all right.
foot either.
Oh,
Bam.
what? Is he afraid of going to jail?
I don't know. If you are, you shouldn't be in the group. All right?
Yeah. It must suck not to live in a free country.
Yeah, it really does. Well, I live in a...
Yeah, you don't live in a free state, so...
I'm not going to tell you where I live, but yeah, it's horrible. Anyway, guys, thank you for sitting through this optic first impressions video.
Yep.
Next step, we're going to shoot these. We're going to gather data on these. We're going to take a lot of notes.
I think Danny has something real quick.
Yeah, no, just finally want to thank everyone in the group for participating, for following along.
Yeah.
Anyone that's subscribed to the YouTube already, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We do appreciate that. We look forward to having you guys continuing to follow our review of this. We have a lot of videos coming out, so hit like, hit subscribe, hit share.
Yep.
Please invite your friends to follow along. We look forward to it.
Yeah, MTS is like a growing group. I could say right now that we're like, MTS is like a family to a lot of people. And again, we're going to have more videos after we get through this review that we got sucked into. Thank you, Paul.
Hey,
but
it started with 5, really. I was just going to do my 5, and then everybody's, well, you can't. You know,
I mean, this could have easily been 30 optics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
could have been 30
had
optics.
to
You had to cut it off.
Cut it off, you know.
On my way. Yeah.
But what these guys are saying, we wouldn't be doing this, we couldn't be doing this without you guys.
Yeah.
So
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Again, MTS is a family. Yeah, we're going to get more into it. We have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we're not going to talk about yet. We're not there yet, but it is coming.
Yep.
A lot of stuff. All right, so stay tuned. Let us know if there's anything about these optics that we missed, anything you want to add, pros, cons, leave them in the comments. Let us know what they are, okay? We want to add that stuff to the data if we can, if it's relevant. Guys, got anything else?
No, yeah, just one last thing. All the data that we collected and placed on this spreadsheet that we're looking at, we will be publishing that in a link in the video or in one of the videos that follow. So you guys can go in and filter by price. You can filter by weight.
Sure.
You can look at tube diameter, reticle type, second or first focal plane, and look at each of these optics and which ones fall into those categories if you're looking to make a decision for yourself. So we're going to provide that to you guys as a tool for yourselves. So that'll be coming as well.
Yeah. All right, Mid-Tier Snobs, thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.